Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to my December end of month wrap up. In the month of December, I read a total of 35 books. You can watch the first 19 of them in my mid-month wrap up. Here I will talk about the 16 I read in the second half of the month. I'm not gonna lie, some of these I don't have much about them because they were just novellas that I was reading on the airplane and I don't remember a ton about them. Didn't write down anything about them, didn't have time to write things down about them. Don't care to go back and look. Yeah, I know vaguely what they're about, but I couldn't tell you character names for a lot of these. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get started with the first book. If you do not know, I talk about these in the order that I completed them, not in the order that I necessarily started them. Like there's one book that I started last month that I didn't finish till like the middle end of this wrap up. So I talk about them in the order that I finish them, not in the order that I start them. The first book that I finished in the second half of the month was A Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Christina C. Jones. This is Roman and Simone. It is a single parent and friends to lovers. It was very emotional. Do know that there are content warnings for miscarriage and things, talks of miscarriages and pregnancies. And yeah, it was very good. I really enjoyed it. I definitely cried a little bit while reading it. The audiobook was fantastic. Christina C. Jones just writes really fantastic books. I don't think I've read anything from her that I've rated less than 4 stars. This one was no exception. I rated this one 5. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yes, so 5 stars for that. Then I reread the book Ghosted by J.M. Darhauer. I one night couldn't sleep, and so I put the audiobook on, and I ended up just staying awake and listening to the whole thing. So yeah, I've gushed about it in basically everything. It's Jonathan and Kennedy. It's 5 stars. Again, yes. Of course. Then I took a plane. I was going to vlog it, and I just never did. And I flew to California to visit my family, and I did a poll on Instagram, and I asked whether I should read what I had already downloaded, or if I should download a bunch of Christmas novellas and try to read them, see how many I could read. And I ended up reading 4 on the airplane. The first one that I read was Christmas with the Wrights by Christina C. Jones. This was just following the Wright brothers and their love interests. And after all 3 stories had concluded, it was fun. It's definitely just like extended epilogues of them around Christmas time. And there was emotional parts. And normally I don't rate novellas if they're under 100 pages. This one was 70 something pages, but I still rated it 5 stars because I just thought of it as like an extension of each story. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I loved that we got the father's perspective in that book also. It was really fun. Then I've read Enticing the Scrooge by Jessica Kane. This book is just completely unhinged greatness. Jessica Kane, wild, age gap, insta love to the max. Like, she's 18, he's in his 30s, like he's trying to get married. He's a descendant of Ebenezer Scrooge. Her name is Blessing. It was just a wild, wacky time. I didn't rate it because it's just a short, quick novella, but I had a good time with it. Then I read Mistletoe Mobster by Cassie Mint. This was another just fun, quick novella. This one was not as like smutty as other ones that I have read by Cassie Mint. Like I felt like this one was quite tame. It had a really fun meet cute where she is a librarian or works in a bookstore, and one day this man comes in and it's the hero. I don't remember their names and I didn't write them down and I don't care to look it up. The hero comes in and he's dripping blood all through her bookstore because he got stabbed. But yeah, it was just a fun time. I know a lot of people didn't really love that. I mean, it set up the other stories. I didn't read the other stories. I didn't really care, but I had a good time with it. Then I read The Christmas Blanket by Candy Steiner. This is a second chance romance of a divorced couple. Again, I didn't write any names down. I had a good time with it. I gave it 5 stars though. It's a snowed-in romance. Basically, the heroine goes home to visit her family for the first time in like 4 years, and she gets stuck on the side of the road, and who comes to her rescue but her ex-husband, and he brings her to his cabin in the woods, and they discover that they may still be in love with each other, and she discovers why he let her leave in the first place, and it's just a good time. He was kind of annoying at times, but I had a good time with it. I gave 5 stars. Then I read The Fake Holiday by Amy Knight. Again, just another fun novella. Don't remember names, but it's coworkers. Like, she thought they were enemies, but they were never enemies. He was always in love with her, and he agrees to go with her to her sister's wedding because her sister is marrying her ex. And so it's just fun, fake dating, sexy good times where they realize that they really do like each other. Then I finally finished Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Can't say anything about this because it's the last book in the Throne of Glass series, and it was fantastic. I absolutely adored it. I gave 5 stars. I'm so sad that that part of the SJM Along has come to an end. We've finished all of the Throne of Glass books, and we are now moving on to Crescent City, and then Silver Flames, and then the second Crescent City book. So we're almost getting to the end of it, but I had a great time with it. I gave 5 stars. Then I read Holiday Games by Catwin. This was so boring. It was like a 100-page novella, and it took me 5 days to read it. I was so bored. I gave it 2 stars. I was bored. I couldn't tell you anything about it other than it's snowed in. He is like her best friend's friend and comes to stay for the like friend vacation that they have. I don't know. Then I read Set the Record Straight by Hannah Bonham Young. This is Jack and Clara. I think it's Jack or Evan and Clara. It is a sapphic romance, a little holiday novella. It's really fun. They agree to fake date, but they realize that they might actually truly be in love with each other, and it was just a good time. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Then I read Unwrapping for the CEO by Olivia T. Turner. Again, just a short, quick novella. I don't remember names. She is, I think her last name was Campbell because I remember him calling her Miss Campbell. She works remote for this company, and she never turns her camera on. She's always just this like black screen in the bottom corner, and he tells her that she needs to go to the work holiday party. So she agrees, and there he is immediately enamored by her, and they go. She's a virgin. They go do all sorts of crazy things and immediately get married. It is just instant love to the fullest, but it was fine. I had a good time. It was a smoothie good time. Then I read Not So Merry Memories by Megan Brandy. This was another novella that I gave 3 stars to. This, I guess, you see the couple from Say You Swear, I think. And it's a second chance kind of romance. Childhood best friends-ish. Something happens and the hero leaves, and the heroine starts her company, and he helps her out with the company, and then he comes back and he's ready to like fully be with her. And yeah, it was a good time. Then I read When Strangers Marry by Lisa Kleypas. This is the most disappointing Lisa Kleypas book I think I've ever read. It was Maximilian and Lizette. Yeah, Maximilian and Lizette. I was bored. Like, I basically skim read it. It takes place in America. I just have a board, just step back. It takes place in America, which is weird. I had never read a Lisa Kleypas book that took place in America, in the South. So, do know that. But they do talk about slavery, and he says, like, he doesn't want slaves. He doesn't agree with that. So, that is a plus. Obviously, good. But yeah, I just was bored. She was supposed to be like, she was supposed to get married in an arranged marriage, and she runs away from home and ends up at the Vellerand house or estate. And yeah, things go from there. He agrees to marry her to keep her from having to go back to the horrible guy she was supposed to get married to. I don't know. I gave it 2 stars, or 2.5 stars, because it is Lisa Kleypas, so, you know. Can't fully give it because her writing is still fantastic. It was not one that necessarily worked for me. Then I finished Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This book tore me apart. I absolutely adored it. It was in my 22 favorites. But it follows Daisy, Christian, and Julian. And Daisy and Julian are brother and sister. And they're kind of mafia. But yeah, it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. I cried. I laughed. I felt all the feelings. Insane. Then I read Teardrop Shot by Tejan. This was for my 2021 rewind. I reread it. I gave 5 stars again. It was a reread. It is Reese Forrester and Charlie. I can't remember her last name, but basically Charlie has had a tragic past relationship. Some stuff happened with her ex, and at the beginning of the story, she was dumped by someone else and then immediately propositioned by his grandfather. And she ends up getting a call from one of her old best friends, and she goes to work on this at this camp that she used to work at when she was younger. And lo and behold, her favorite basketball player, Reese Forrester, and his basketball team are coming to work at the camp, or to work out at the camp, and her and Reese may strike up a friendship that turns to more. And it was just beautiful. I adore that book so much. So yeah, 5 stars. And then the last book that I read was Party Favors by Erin McClellan. Again, a fun novella. This one was a New Year's Eve themed sapphic novella. Again, don't remember names. Didn't write them down. But basically, 2 heroines had been friends online, and one is very she's the disco ball heiress, and or princess or something, and she's very her life is very buttoned up and straightforward, and she has to do things, she has to follow in her family's footsteps. And the other heroine is more fun and free and carefree, and they keep going on all these dates. And the one heroine who has to follow in her family's footsteps, her parents keep setting her up on these awful dates that she doesn't want to go on. And she was supposed to go to some event for New Year's Eve, and she decides to blow it off and go meet up with the other heroine and all of her friends for a fun getaway for New Year's Eve. And they may realize that they're both very attracted to each other, and they may have a lot of sex. Basically, it's just a lot of hooking up. But it was fun. I had a good time. I think I gave it 4 stars, 3.5, 4 stars, because really it was just them doing it. But yeah, those are the 16 books, most of them are novellas, that I read in the second half of the month. I obviously was really busy being back home, and I had a good time. So I just wanted some fun, quick reads that I could do really quick. I tried to read 365 books last year, and I did not get there, but that's okay, because my Goodreads goal was 150, so I surpassed that, but I got to 362 books. So, but I had other things I needed to do. So, yeah. If you made it to the end of this, leave me a Christmas tree, because this is the last for December. So leave me a Christmas tree emoji. And yeah, because I read a lot of Christmas novellas. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye!